לאור, נס גדול היה פה, סוף נסוף כה וכה.
I'm Rabbi Mark Goldsmith of Edgware and Hendon Reformed Synagogue, and my Chanukiot that I want to share today for this, the 6th night of Hanukkah, could only be from one place, from South Africa. And of course it's got a story behind it. But first of all, let's light. Here we go. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim lavoteinu, bayamim hahem ובזמן הזה. הנרות הללו אנו מדליקים, הנרות הללו אנו מדליקים, על הניסים ועל התשועות ועל הנחמות ועל הנפלאות, שעשית לאבותינו, שעשית לאבותינו, בימים ההם, בימים ההם, בימים ההם בזמן הזה. During all the 8 days of Hanukkah, these lights are sacred, and we're not permitted to make use of them, but only to see them and to thank you and your great name for the wonders, the victories and the marvellous deeds. And we thank you for the wonders, the victories and the marvellous deeds you performed for our ancestors in those days and at this season. מעוצו ישועתי, לך נאה לשבח, תיכון בית תפילתי, ושם תודה נזבח, לעת תשבית מטבח, מצחם נבח, אז אגמור בשיר מזמור, חנוכת המזבח, אז אגמור בשיר מזמור, Chanukat HaMizbeach. Of course you know that for Hanukkah it's that simple. Something to hold the candles, something to light them with, some songs, wherever you are, whoever you are, you can do this. And that's part of the story of this Chanukiot. So, first of all, how did it get here? I had an enormous privilege in 2012-2013, which was to go on sabbatical to be Rabbi in Temple Israel in Cape Town in South Africa. This is a combination of 3 Reformed synagogues throughout the city, and I had an absolute ball. Really loved it, and loved meeting the new people there and being able to be a rabbi somewhere else. And all around Cape Town you'll find people by the roadside selling these, which are beaded models of things that are typical in South African life, made by people in townships such as Khayelitsha and all around the country, and sold by the roadside. There's a special one just by a mall called Constantia Mall, where there's so many of these being sold, such enormous creativity. This one, for example, is a protea, which is the flower of South Africa, and we picked this up on the roadside somewhere near the great botanical gardens in Cape Town. Kirstenbosch, really beautiful. This one is a turtle, and that's because my daughter has a love of turtles. In our house there are several of them living in tanks, and here is a lovely sea turtle. So I served the synagogue for 3 months, and at the end it was Hanukkah. And of course, one of the things that's beautiful about Hanukkah, like I say, all you need is a Chanukiot, a few candles, a person or some people, and some songs. So of course it was a festival that I could participate in so far away from home, and at the end of Hanukkah they gave me a beautiful parting gift to bring back home. And knowing that we'd been collecting these wonderful beaded work pieces over the time we'd been there, it was obviously this fella, a rhinoceros with a Chanukiot on the back. And how did he come about? Well, it came about because some Jewish people in Cape Town were very aware of the extra income that this beaded work gave to people in the townships, and encouraged them to create Judaica. Hence this Chanukiot. You can actually buy them in London, would you believe, in Finchley in the Manor House bookshop. They sell them. They have a kind of an agency there from South African members of synagogues here in London who've been importing them. But we love him. He's really beautiful, and he's very special and reminds us as a family of that very, very special time in South Africa and of lighting the candles with a new community and feeling so at home. And that's something so beautiful about Hanukkah. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, you can do it. And in this weird time of lockdown, what we've been doing in our community is lighting candles with different communities around the world. And what's so beautiful is you can just do it. So we lit candles with Sao Paulo, the community Israelita Paulista in Sao Paulo in Brazil. We then lit candles the next night with the community in Odessa, Shirat Hayam. And then the next night actually with Temple Israel in Cape Town, and hundreds of us were on the screens lighting candles together. We're carrying on this week lighting candles with many other communities. It's so simple. There's a story that's really important to many Reformed Jews of our beloved Rabbi Hugo Grin, who died about 25 years ago. And Hugo told the story about how Hanukkah had made a difference in his life in the camps. He talked about his father having used some of the margarine ration to create a little Chanukiot in their barracks. And Hugo, as a boy, being very upset at the wastage that he saw happening. But his father telling him, we managed to live for 3 weeks with virtually no food. We managed to live for 3 days with virtually no water. But we can't live for 3 minutes without hope. And they lit the Chanukiot. And it's a story that we tell most Yom Kippurs in our synagogue. It's so simple, so beautiful. Anything from anywhere can become a Chanukiot. All you need is some light, some hope, a few songs. One last thing. When it comes to Pesach, we're back to the same again. I got to go back to Cape Town, and I was a scholar in residence for a while, and on my way back, as we finished off, they gave me this, which is what we keep our matzahs in over Pesach. We'll keep it going and keep that fire alive for generations to come. Happy Hanukkah!
סביבות סוף 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 חנוכה הוא חג טוב